afternoon, ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Angleville. On the fields of Angleville, two forces shall clash. It shall be Aerohank fighting here for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 5th Mechanized Corps versus Jeviolet, fighting here for the Wehrmacht, for the Reich, for the Kampfgruppe Heinz. Grenadiers on the way, contract on the way there. We got Doctrines, Mechanized Assault, Close Air Support, and Fortified Armor versus Soviet Industry, Defensive Tactics, and Lend-Lease Tactics. More Grenadiers on the way so far for Jeviolet, and countries they're arriving as well. Initial Western focus, but at the same time, here the Aerohank is sort of focusing on more than one part of the map, spreading out a bit. Where's the initial focus here for Sure, sort of more towards the west. We've got the Pioneers actually doubling back now towards the right hand side, which does seem a bit peculiar right there, and not necessarily the most efficient choice of path. More countries there on the way for Aerohank. We say for the cut point, both facts sort of rushing forward, but really the Pioneers not going to have much of a chance there in case that opposing play also focuses on it. Trying to make for the building, there you go, the context make to the first overall right here. We're seeing then that Jeviolet has rather already sort of wasted the opportunity to sort of gain a good grip, at least on the western side, by trying to pull this off, which again, not necessarily the strongest of maneuvers. Got more gunners heading towards the west, but then MD42 following up there. Pioneers seeming to be running elsewhere. Maybe do some harassment. More Aerohank is making a grab for both viewpoints right here. Aggressively so, but again, the way Jeviolet sort of opened up this with has rather given Aerohank that opening. Got Sandbags going down here, none right here, but there you go. Grenadiers versus Engineers, the Engineers falling back slowly but surely in the face of Germans' infantry. There you go. Nice chunk of the map already secured here by Aerohank. Jeviolet struggling to gain more than that. MD42 there following up, 4th contract soon ready here for him. Forces moving over there as well. Pioneers taking up position inside the very large shed.
Supply sector under attack.
Nego Engineers are actually waiting here for the Grenadiers advance, but you taking up position some boxes, at least trying to make the boxes work as cover. Whereas the Engineers do find themselves struggling a bit with the barrels there as well. Poor Heinz though, sadly the boxes did not come in even the slightest manner, and he fell dead. There we go, the Engineers that are bleeding out here. The Grenadiers do possess greater skill and accuracy versus the Engineers, so they should be able to take them apart reasonably fast. Got them moving over there. They're a bit of a risky position considering we do know where Aerohank is again, so when going that close to the enemy is a bit, you know, asking to get assaulted. Pioneers remaining here. I'm not entirely sure what Jeviolet is expecting with this. I mean, worst case scenario, they're just going to get murdered without achieving much. Best case scenario, they're going to get pushed off, suffering losses without achieving much. Maybe a spot in the MD42 there. Bit careful that the MD42 looks like trying to sort of set off here, so both here and here can sort of be stopped by it. Certainly paranoid about here, but again, the way then that Jeviolet moved it about there sort of contradicts that a bit. We got a 4th Grenadier squad then the way for Jeviolet, though apart from say another MD42 here would be a better choice, but help sort of cover up the flanks better. Aerohank so far with 4 country squads, Molotovs up. Good Arbeit. We got mortars down the line. There we go. Pioneers engaged. Molotov like going to get off. Or not if Aerohank decides it's unnecessary. The defense of the motherland. And there you go though. Molotov thrown there. A flangeable of Fiery Doom through the hole in the wall. Exactly great throwing skills there required. And there you go. The rest of the Pioneers leg it out as they can hear the screams of the remaining Kameraden inside the building. And now they've sort of abandoned the fuel point, leaving that completely eliminated. A quick rush here from Aerohank with his Engineers with the flamethrower. Of course, that forces Jeviolet to sort of rush back with Grenadiers MD42 again left here. Granatenwerfer moving up, the 8 cm Granatenwerfer 34, which was actually earlier in the war designated as a schwerer Granatenwerfer. Fun fact, there was actually considered a heavy mortar at one point in the war. Engineers are taking losses, concentrating from the north. Grenadiers they're firing in. Mega Engineer squad was wiped out. Francis moving up. There you go, quickly vaulting over. Maxim Molotov versus all the Grenadiers bunched up there. I mean, that's a really good target there for Molotov. There we go. Mortifying them running down. Need to get careful don't get not too close to the Russian child, since he might get risk getting hit with his own mortar fire before setting up. The can't get pushed away. Another hit there. Close actually doing something, but not quite at the same time. There's all of this happening, of course. Day before 2 switching about here. We see Aerohank then taking full advantage of it, bringing the trap, sending in a few more extra squad hits will quickly overwhelm. Survived again, wasn't quite ready for that. Setting up the M42 out in the open, closer comes squad. Not a good idea. Molotov quick to respawn there. Troops are getting suppressed, but the M42 will need to get out of there. Will need to. And here we see why another MG42 might have worked better. The first one could have dealt with this, and the other one could have maybe covered versus the assault there. So a little note there. And the gunners they need to get away. Jeviolet suffering heavy staggering losses. I mean, he's doing some damage here. 2 Aerohank in the process, but the losses he's suffering there are in fact bigger. Take-up has been done by way here by Jeviolet. A half-track, for example, would be a good thing to actually try and aim for here. Would help maintain a stronger position on the front line for Jeviolet, who's actually now sending forces back to the right-hand side to try and steal away territory there from the Soviet state. And there you go, gunners quickly getting outnumbered and outgunned. They need to retreat as well, unless Jeviolet there fancies suffering some losses of a higher caliber. We got medic bunkers down. And for Aerohank, we got a support wing company going up there. Oh, gunners got their white on retreat, Rather unfortunate there, but he should have retreated faster and sooner. Now they're going to squad there to replace the losses. Which of course is going to delay any taking. And again, having the pioneers moving about here is certainly going to help with that as well. And we see a choice of mechanized assault. Upon I would say cancel the gunners, get in some assault gunners. That would probably work better around this area with the smaller, closer quarters, where the assault gunners might actually have a better chance of getting in some damage. Maximum on the way there for Aerohank to help keep the fascists' heads down. Getting both victory points, so that might help out Jeviolet a bit. Just a bit. Until far one squad there with the lightest machine gun gewehr striking field sick. And pioneers pushed back there by their Soviet counterparts, the combat engineers. Maximum ramming here for Aerohank. Going for the fuel again, going to deal with the conscripts there, rather low on health, not the best condition. Like to make a nice company is going to be necessary. Jeviolet could then consider either half-track again, as I suggested, or panzer grenadiers could also work out reasonably well, I think. There we go. Conscripts being pushed away here. Losses inflicted.
This is our sector now.
And the first star veterancy gain there for Jeviolet in this battle. Quick to shoot down the wounded. Schnell, we can't let them breathe. They could get up again, you know, with a medic, go to prison camp. Well, they're going to die anyways. Might as well make it less miserable for them. But there you go, like to make a nice company up. Aerohank continues more of the slower assault now. Need to be careful of that mortar. The MG42 pull back further here for more defensive posture. And engineers in trouble with the gunners for that machine gun. We've seen another one there being added to Jeviolet's arsenal. And there you go, constantly going after the mortar. The mortar, in fact, might have acted as bait here, drawing the conscript into a trap of machine gun bullets. Do see him also with an M42, which means the trap might not quite have been intended to work quite as well as he'd hoped for. Either way, the conscript pushed back there with heavy damage and casualties. Not soon to be forgotten by the ones that survive. That is until they die. And it was close to stopped by the Maxim out in the open. Nicely done there. Rocket will probably try it. No, it doesn't have the munition to actually knock it out of the rocket. At least do some damage. MG40 needs to come up to there's some mortar. Pioneers are running there. There we go. Gunners pushed back. Pack 40 in the way here. Jeviolet already worried about enemy armor of any kind, so that could be understandable here, considering all the fuel that Aerohank has gotten so far. But so far, no sign of that though from Aerohank. No sign of that. Nice hit though there from the mortar on the conscripts. Maximum there being outflanked by the pioneers. And there you go, conscripts actually ignoring the fuel point. That might actually work out there slightly for Jeviolet. The MG42 then mortar joining on the conscripts, and the pioneers continue their work against the Maxim crew. And again, gunners continue up here. They have suffered losses. Troops are reinforcing. Need to get quickly back in the fight though. Maxim was successfully pushed away by the might of the pioneers. The pioneers actually considered a divisional elite. Usually some of the best troops alongside the Fusilier battalion in any infantry or Panzer division. Well, in the Panzer division they would be called Aufklärung, but little fun fact there, little fun fact. Tough assault troops, of course, that also had the jobs of building things and clearing out obstacles. It's rather some multi-role troops, but again, very tough elite troops. Oh dear, I forgot about the Grenadiers! Could even end up having all that machine gun. Oh, he didn't, but still, Jeviolet there needs to be seriously careful that his 2 grenadier squad so far wasted compared to Aerohank, who has yet to suffer a single squad. Right, in that regard, you know, Aerohank's going to be a bit ahead in manpower besides fuel. And there you go, quick to replace with another grenadier squad. No consideration even for some panzer grenadiers, which do actually work reasonably well there versus Russians, in particular as they gain eventually to and above, they can become really good actually at ending up conscripts and their friends. We got another grenadier squad there instead. A bit dull, and I think again perhaps not the best option as the fight progresses.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
And of course with this, I mean, he's very likely to just go for the Stugi as a sort of a crutch move to sort of overcome his issues there. His poor early game getting another grenadier squad. I mean, that guy, he's quickly getting too caught up in the grenadiers, not really considering what is actually happening on the battlefield. I mean, some players do have a slight tendency just getting caught up in grenadier spam, and for some it can work, but if your opponent is a bit clever, of course, he can easily turn against you and just bleed you out of it. And at the same time, the grenadiers with a 4-man squad are not necessarily that ideal assault infantry, not without something to keep them going, like say a half track, and again that's what Jeviolet here is missing. They're going to be holding up the conscripts there. Veterans one available in 10 rounds would be good, Be sehr good. Mortar rounds landing in there. And so far 2 light machine guns against today. He's getting a bit of them back there through different means. Most of them the grenadiers were suppressed by the maximum up north. Nothing further here though from Aerohank. He's actually got mines from up just in case his opponent has laid down mines. Clever there. Oh, conscript wipe though. Finally a wipe here. Very solid wipe. They actually caught Aerohank a bit off guard. Left one's infantry squad there dead. Conscript wing hit. They're quickly being sought down there by grenadiers with the likes of this machine gun. They're quickly up behind the bushes. Felt the Predita. Leads the men onwards. With the maximum there leading down, it's a suppressive burst. Quickly stopping the grenadiers continue to advance over here though. Bit of a minor shootout. Pioneers moving up, looks like they'll try and harass the right hand side again. The 2 grenadier squads, so you need to get back in the fight quickly. Schnell, schnell, schnell. And I've had 40 is just basically waiting for any kind of enemy armor to appear so it can actually do something. Meanwhile, they're just trying to look as busy as possible. And there you go, we've got take up there from Aerohank, we've got a mechanized armor Campania. So looks like we're seeing some Katyushas and tank destroyers. Which is probably going to be good choices since, I mean, with that kind of play again, he's playing this he's going to go for the Tiger, in which case SU-85 is going to be a good sort of method there for dealing with things. Though, of course, I mean, he could also try for something else from the doctrine. Although, I mean, if he is going for the mechanized armor company, Lend-Lease tends to work quite well with it. It supplies fuel. You get half tracks as well from it. You could also get, well, tanks from it. So in that regard, you can sort of make up from that lack of a tank command here using Lend-Lease tactics, actually. So a little fun fact. There we go. Katyusha on the way for Aerohank. Katyusha, a rocket launcher. Pioneers in trouble, also noting minesweepers here for Jeviolet. Though interesting enough, Aerohank has not laid down any mines. Both sides have got minesweepers, yet neither side has laid down mines. That's a bit funny. Though of course the humour might be lost on them at the current stage of the fight there. Second pack forward here, we see Jeviolet getting increasingly paranoid about enemy armour. I mean, again, he's seeing no fight, and again the time just keeps progressing, which of course means something bigger must be coming. At this stage he might even begin to get slightly worried there about sort of doctrinal heavy armour. Of course, looking at what Aerohank has in doctrines, of course that's not going to be the worry. And there you go, finding some mines down there in the centre of the map, right there at the cross point. Good. And a Stugi arrives here for Jeviolet, and of course here's where the thing gets funny. He's really paranoid about enemy armour. Aerohank so far is actually quite relaxed. He's got anti-tank grenades and mines, but that's it. The Stugis in that regard, it's not going to necessarily suffer some huge setback. And there we go, first shot fight there. Called up from a nearby training unit, which is where most of the Stugis by 1944-45 would have been training units of the likes, since otherwise they've been in so much service. And of course, as the war progressed, they would increasingly find themselves pressed into service alongside older Panther fleet models as well, for example, who weren't really quite fit for fight. French tanks also that way actually found themselves in combat. For example, entire battalions with mixed old German tanks and French tanks. In fact, 2 of them fought in Normandy against the Americans. Fun fact there. Maxim is supporting Grenadiers. Constant assault, but not quite working out the best. MD42, of course, Grenadiers moving up here. Munitions, though, being used there for a light machine. That's not quite going to work out there. The MD42, there we go, suppressed, join in. Stugis being busy trying to sort of support a push on the right flank. Instead of trying to hold the area here. Looks like the Maxim might be a bit of trouble. The Aerohank needs to retreat, but for some reason the Aerohank has been quite... Oh, there we go. I'd like to say quite stubborn, but looks like he decided to give up. Stugi advances. Somehow dodged the mine, though. Apparently someone sneezed and I missed it. Gesundheit, Fritz. Yeah, I just also feel like we avoided some kind of terrible fate. Trying, I think, here to hunt down the conscripts. Bit of a bow move, but might work out. But then encountering here a field gun. This could end up badly there for the Stugi if he's not careful. No, in this case, he does manage to succeed. But now we're seeing here now, in time for the mid-game analysis, probably that Jeviolet is beginning to push back Aerohank. Though again, it has been a rather sort of rough few, well, opening 15 minutes or so. He's still not taken up, and again, at this stage, it clearly looked like he's just going to go for the Stugi. Tiger, again, what a lot of players sort of tend to do with the mechanized assault. That is very much the crutch strategy, if you will. And a lot of players sort of tend to fall back on when they sort of, end up, oh, hey, Grenadier spamming, without necessary things to make it work, even remotely, doesn't work. Who would have thought? And of course, in that regard, they tend to sort of quickly fall back on this, and of course, it also to a certain extent makes them predictable. And of course, right this, of course, field guns not sort of helps hold it back, otherwise, Aerohank could have been in problems. Of course, he's now got a few options here, but let's stick though to Jeviolet. For Jeviolet, though, fuel caches will be necessary, at least one or two. He needs to lay down some mines here and there. He needs to be a bit more aggressive with his infantry. He also needs to be a bit more smarter with them. He has a slight tendency if they're just sort of running about willy-nilly, not quite using cover, and also not really trying to maneuver as good as he can, I think. Also needs to sort of make better use of support weapons, sort of cover up the infantry at times. That regard, there's also a few sort of lackings there, but mines, otherwise pushing up here, trying to deny Aerohank at least some fuel, and again, Aerohank's really had no fuel interruptions throughout this fight to sort of any, well, noticeable degree. So the more resources he can deny there, that's good. And of course, some caches of his own, he really needs sort of speed up that way as well, and fuel caches would be the best option, would help up sort of further armor, and even then, once he got a target upon, we say, tag up, get something else sort of supported. I think that would do Jeviolet there a bit of good. And of course, for Aerohank and Escalation right now would be a good idea again. In that sense, what Jeviolet's not really going for is a highly original strategy, and again, a good way to sort of deal with that is basically going to be an S385, shoot out the Stugi, and a Tiger Zone also going to start there with the S385. And of course, you can then sort of follow up here with an Lend-Lease tactics, and then sort of later on support the S385 there with an M4C Sherman, helping deal with infantry, screening it a bit, but also maybe helping versus the Tiger tank if the S385 can't immediately get it. It would also provide with allied supply drops, and again, M5 half-track assault groups for the half-track, but also has some more assault infantry. In that regard, considering what Aerohank's currently got, Lend-Lease tactics would actually work admirably well with his strategy, and augment it quite well compared to the others. For example, defensive, obviously, more defensive, more slowly minded. And so in industry, considering all the manpower, all the support weapons he's got, that would basically cripple him. In that regard, Lend-Lease is the one that's definitely going to serve Aerohank the best. More mines for him, of course, is best, otherwise more pressure. And also try to maybe attack the enemy's base from here. So force Jeviolet to have to pull away resources from here towards here, and again have to sort of maintain a long front. And that could really, I think, give Aerohank a bit more to work with. Otherwise, some assaults through here, he's a bit too keen on just trying to attack head-on into Jeviolet, and that does give Jeviolet a sort of bit of a breathing room to actually deal with the assaults in a sort of slightly less frantic manner. Of course, right here, of course, on his Sherman, I might try and flank up through there. Of course, he's going to find itself in a bit as a shooting gallery target. So, there's sort of a few considerations there, a few possible actions on both sides, but for Jeviolet, it very much seems like, again, he's just going for what is rather predictable, and that really gives Aerohank, in a sense, if he actually sort of catches onto it, the most initiative, since he, of course, can then sort of act to it and sort of try to, well, make a mess of it as much as he sees fit. Mines being spotted here, so Aerohank actually laid down a lot of mines tonight, somehow managed to miss them, which I suppose does mean he's done a good job of it, but either way though, that's about 90 minutes there being swept up by Jeviolet, which I'm sure Jeviolet is quite happy about. Stugi then put back here by field guns and conscripts, shot fired, there we go, good hit there, but almost went into one, but at the same time, that's a jump, but also almost knocked out there. Rockets go down there against the MG42. Looks like the MG42 is going to get out of here. There we go. There we go. Jeviolet here falling back a bit. The Super is definitely going to need some serious repairs. Light artillery barrages have been made available. Sadly, though, he does not possess the munitions to utilise them. There we go, going for the fuel. Aerohank keeps up the pressure here. Eventually to the maximum. There we go. We got allied supply dock, which of course means he's gone for Lend-Lease tactics. And he is quickly dispatched here with haste by the Grenadiers once the flamethrower ones will basically sort of neutralise the minefield ones. Obviously realised they hadn't had a chance to stand a chance at all. Failed to be able to Fritz here, pushing forward with this small squad, but overall he's already getting bogged down. He's not going to succeed, and overall he might just end up suffering needless losses. There you go, Molotov as well, burning down a few fellows. Not really good position there, and there we go. Jeviolet is forced to retreat. Bit of quiet here though further on. Studio is doing his repairs, almost done there. And there go 4 light machine guns here for Jeviolet, adding in a lot of firepower there for his forces. Generally though, you'd only see that heavier level of light machine gun equipment for any sort of Panzer Grenadier unit, which are generally lavishly equipped with light machine guns. More elite infantry divisions would also have a higher quantity of light machine guns. That was for example the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division, which was actually a rather offensively minded one, which actually had a lot of light machine guns, for example heavy mortars and Pak-40s, and an entire assault gun brigade attached to it. Fun facts there. Quick rough there, there's the Maxim. Very nice hit there, but still the Maxim is fighting. Does he retreat there? Aerohank not quite going to push his luck there. Almost lost the fuel, but now we've got the Studio moving ahead. Finding away at the conscripts. Heavy rocket fire there against the MG42 and wiped it. In the meanwhile, Grenadiers moving up here, coming under fire from conscripts, and got an HD5 on the way there for Aerohank. Going for the tank destroyer route, which can deal with the Stugi from a safer distance, without having to run into Pak-40s. And there you go, collapsed. He did manage to get the fuel points. There's been some progress there for Jeviolet on the right flank, but overall, because the MG40 has been cleared out, the Katyusha gaining more kills there for the Rodina. The Russians running into the Molotov. Do not worry, Yuri. It will not harm true socialists. Look at me, oh god, it's burning! You idiot, that's not how fire works.
Pioneers ready for anything.
We have a new. The enemy has taken our supply.
And there you go, the Su-85 tanks are arriving. The earlier model there was also the Su-85M, which was actually longer and basically just utilised the chassis for the Su-100. Because they weren't quite ready with the gun itself, so they just kept producing Su-5s using the new chassis. Fun fact there. Using a bit of trouble, fuel gun setting up as well. Quick rough hit there versus the field gun. He's in a bit of trouble, and cuts off 6 of the Grenadiers as well here. Quick Molotov off.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
He's pushed off, field gun barraging, adding in a bit of extra damage there for Aerohank's forces. Mortar fire being laid down here, halfway to the veterans. 18 kills, actually pretty good job there for Jeviolet in that regard. Very close to the Tiger tank though, very close to being able to push that towards the front line. Very close indeed. Another Katyusha barrage here unleashed by Aerohank. Almost got the Grenadiers there. There we go, wiped them. Nasty loss there. Another Grenadiers got with the light machine gun there. Wiped for Jeviolet. Got the Su-5 there rolling ahead. Stugi got off a hit there. And some nasty conscripts. And again, just Grenadiers, no consideration maybe for Panzer Grenadiers instead. At all. Su-5 there, coming engaging the Stugi, while which is halfway to victory 2. Almost got it, almost got it. Pak-40's nowhere near to be seen, but in this case though, nope, hit. Aerohank does pursue, but he needs to be a bit careful, of course. One wrong move and he could end up knocked with an Su-5 that is wrecked, though he does actually kill one of the mortar crewmen.
The enemy still has 300. Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Got the other Pack 40 all the way there back at base, getting healed up. Just a few more moments now, he can call in the target. Then again, Aerohank is not exactly far off from being able to call in some M4C Shermans. Quick waffle on there quickly puts Jürgen to rest. And he's kind of this one there, getting up, machine gun up, stand up, watch against the Consuls for the time being. So, I mean, he's not really getting much progress there in terms of sort of gaining ground for any longer period of time here, Mr. Jeviolet. And there we go, though. Tiger arrives, Tiger arrives. Will that be able to turn the tide here for Jeviolet with its 88mm gun? Is being pushed away. There we go, and M4C Sherman out here for Aerohank. That should help him cover up the edge of the fire a bit, ensuring he can't be immediately rushed by any infantry or armour. In particular, cut gives it a 50 cut machine gun, it should definitely serve a bit well there versus infantry. Infantry advance stalled on the western flank there by the MD-42. Stugi moves up there, closing in on Metri 2. Stugi needs to be careful here. Careful. Surprisingly, he's not keeping the pack sort of a bit close to the front line to sort of assist here. But there you go, moving up. And there you go, targeting quite, there you go. Actually following on the Stugi. Stugi needs to pull back. Scheisse. Step on it, Heinz. And kaput.
Lost a panzer.
Loss of a instructor and his students there. There you go, Tiger at the front line, but over here coming under fire from the HD5 and the gun field gun joining in as well. And there you go, Veterans 1 for the HD5, Veterans 1. Pack 4, they're opening up in return. Their mortar laying down a bit of a barrage there, stage 5 as well, forcing Aerohank to pull back the tactics one. There's of course the Panzers here getting wrecked. Maximum though, utterly annihilated. But return, they actually know here Jeviolet's actually got a larger force than Aerohank, but compared to, of course, Aerohank still got a large amount of territory, which does indicate that maybe Jeviolet's not getting the most out of it. Another Katyusha barrage here, straight. There's all the lumped up support weapons. Getting some good hits down the Granatwerfer crew, and then annihilates the Pack 40 entirely. Well, the crew specifically. The Pack 40 is practically still factory fresh.
The sector is at risk.
We are ready for action.
You need fire support?
Jeviolet increasingly struggling here to sort of get anywhere.
The enemy is attempting
I think, of course,
to
quickly
steal
responding
our
with
sector.
excessive forces towards the Grenadiers, simply harassing to ensure he's got the best chances of pushing them away. Of course, in that regard, you know, Jeviolet might want to send another Grenadier squad south here to support them. Instead, he's just basically committing to this sort of meat grinderish fight, but of course, Aerohank with the Katyusha and the HD5 starting choice and a range advantage. Grenadier squad there wiped out, so that's rather unfortunate there for Jeviolet. That's another Grenadier squad with a light machine. In fact, I think those were Veterans 3, and even harsher loss there. In that sense, Jeviolet does seem to occasionally rather choose some poor battles to engage in instead of just retreating. He ends up losing scores, which is actually quite viable or valuable compared to Aerohank, who has suffered losses, but not quite the same level, quite the same star there, Jeviolet. And of course, they're opening up the Grenadiers, Molotov off, targeting push back, the HD5 and field gun opening up again. Damage engine not good, they're not good. And there you go, got a second M4C there arriving for Aerohank, adding further armoured might here.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Katyusha firing.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
M4C Sherman moving up. And going to use a quick to Panzerfaust it.
Additional resources are now available to you, Commander. Enemy dispatched!
Another squad annihilated, crushed beneath Aerohank's boots. Another battleship with the field gun. Sergeant Petrov ordering a battleship with anything that looks remotely fascist. At the same time, the Guardians flanking their machine gun and grenades, almost getting the entire lot there, but not quite succeeding. The field crew does escape here. The clutch of the MD-42. But overall, Jeviolet very much on the back foot, never sort of really pulls any greater offensive manoeuvres. Which is only again in that regard as well also been to the advantage of Aerohank, again handing him further initiative.
Awaiting command.
Awaiting command.
Awaiting orders.
Tiger receiving valuable repairs.
Yes, comrade.
Fire on this position! What do you have for us? We are taking
Bit mortified, Constance pushing ahead, and there's moving ahead as well. Got the MD-42 setting up. There we go, Veterans 1, Tiger on it as well there, Constance 9 actually a bit of danger there. If the Tiger could actually hit, clearly it's not Germany's finest that's screwing that one at all. And there you go, finally hit there, but at the same time the MD-42 was utterly annihilated, thrown against the front of the Tiger. There you go, she's finally hit again. Not really getting that many more penetrating hits in though, so far, which does also limit its ability to sort of hit Messi too, which would mean a real high rate of fire. Sherman's flanking in there, clearing up the Pioneers, they're pulling up an assault. The Kampf group is increasingly bleeding out here, struggling to get anywhere. Tiger rolling forwards. There goes the fire shooting, field gun firing. No shots penetrating here. So far, a bit of luck there for the Tiger, but there we go, coming up closer. The chances do decrease, diminish. Of course, there's also a chance, there we go, of the M4C Sherman flanking it out. And there we go, might get the field gun, but now the Tiger taking serious damage here from all the Soviet armor and tank destroyers firing at it. Down to a sliver of health there. Pack 40's covering up, but there we go. 4C's flanking. Both in fact, there we go. Targeting his best hit, but at the same time, exposing the rear. Need to blitz, there we go. Oh, there we go, wasn't enough, it wasn't enough. Shot there, fired by the M4C, number 1, straight for the frontal armor, and there we go. Jeviolet surrenders, a loss here to Deutschland. A victory for the Soviet Union. Overall, Aerohank displayed a much more confident and, well, clearer strategy. Not just relying on call-ins, but also on actual, well, tank destroyers, rocket artillery, and overall good tactics there. Jeviolet, on the other hand, rather had, I think, a weak opening. Kept sort of trying to push, but never really sort of any serious manner, which overall made it easy for Aerohank to sort of contain it. At the same time, no real aggression here. In that regard, Jeviolet was a bit too passive, a bit too weak. And again, the strategy also displayed that in terms of doctrine. Again, just to Tiger, very much a crutch strategy. And again, it really lacked only any aggression, any push. And overall, again, it just conceded Aerohank initiative, and overall, Aerohank made good use of it. At the same time, Aerohank never really got reckless and just sort of threw units away. So in that regard, there were several problems there for Jeviolet, also just relying too heavily on grenadiers. More machine guns, I think, of the heavier kind would have done well, but also just a bit more aggression, sort of tried to keep Aerohank a bit on the defensive, but that never quite really materialized for any longer period of time. So in that regard, you know, Jeviolet made several sort of strategic mistakes, which overall again allowed Aerohank to play off a rather solid strategy even better. So hopefully you've learned something from this match. Hopefully it's given you some better ideas on what to do and what not to do. If you did want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send a reply and provide some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Anything. Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.